Okay, so new board members, there's 13 of us, and I want to hereby call our first board meeting to order. As the outgoing president, that's the role I'm going to play, and I think that I haven't rehearsed this at all, but I think that we need to hypothetically, we'll have a secretary elected, and that secretary will have the minutes from this particular meeting, which is separate from the meeting that we just did. The annual general meeting is over. So, yes, Jim.
I nominate Bruce Corker to be secretary.
Second.
I second the motion.
Yeah, nominations don't need seconds, but thank you. So I think if we want to start out with that, I'm willing to start out with that, but I don't know that that's not the normal process of officers. The normal process of officers is first select the president so that the president can, that the other officers are determining who they're working with and making that decision. So
If we don't nominate a secretary, and that's the way it's done in most other organizations, you don't have anyone to record what's been happening. So I believe nominating the secretary comes first.
That's logical.
Well, Bruce can also volunteer. He is secretary until his term expires. So if he wants to continue taking minutes, that would be within protocol.
As far as I understand, whoever was secretary is going to be secretary until a new secretary has been elected. So if Bruce is currently the secretary of the board, he's going to be it until a new one is selected.
Thank you, Franz.
that is correct as long as he's here. And in this case, he's here. Like Jim said, if he weren't here, if the outgoing secretary was not present, you would want to identify who's taking minutes. By coincidence, he's here, and if he's willing to take minutes, I don't see it either way being that significant of an issue. Are you willing to do so, Bruce, at this time?
I am.
Okay, very good. Do we have nominations for presidency?
I'd like to make a nomination. I'd like to nominate Suzanne Schreiner. Suzanne has shown and shared her vast knowledge of Kona coffee, the current problems, and what's going on. She was a great team leader when she was in her previous position as president. I would like to nominate Suzanne Schreiner.
Thank
I would
you,
like
Sia.
to nominate Kohlhauer Bandera as our current president.
Right. Need a second.
No, nominations are not motions.
Oh, okay.
Nominations are just nominations. Anybody can nominate. They can nominate themselves. You don't need a second person to support a nomination. Yeah, it's not a motion. It's just a
Okay,
nomination.
so my nomination is Kohlhauer Bandera, and have him continue as our president for another term. Let him continue with the work he's been underway with for the last year.
Thank you, John. I accept that nomination.
I agree. I would like to nominate Kohlhauer Bandera as well.
All right. Well, I only need one, but thank you, Kay. Hypothetically, Chet's going to set up a poll for us to do this via poll. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it will happen. Do we have any more nominations?
I just got a poll showing the minutes. It's still there.
Yep.
Didn't go
I did too.
Terminate that, Kohlhauer. Because you're in
I don't
control
know
of that
what-
poll.
But what do I press to terminate it, do you think?
Well, let me see if there's information
'Cause I'm
online.
happy to terminate it. Yeah, sorry. If somebody knows how to terminate a poll, please
Start
tell me.
polling,
You're right.
polling. Now, you should have on your result a blue button at the bottom that says end polling. No?
On my screen of the poll, it just says share results.
Well, maybe try hitting
Chet,
that.
can you do that as the vote?
You know what? You know what? I found a drop-down menu. Hold on. I found a drop-down menu that's changing the poll. There you go. I'm ready to launch. So do I press launch poll?
Yep.
Can you guys see it yet or no?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just verifying. So,
Yeah, I can see it now.
but the problem is, I apologize for repeating this, but the problem is this vote will not necessarily be accurate because as the host, I cannot, me and or Chet cannot vote. So we may not be able to use this system. We can try, but we may or may not be able to.
Well, we just may have to voice vote.
Yep.
We'll see what the count is and see if our votes are
I'm just
necessary.
letting, yeah, I'm just saying that out loud. Exactly.
Mhm. And it's only board members can vote, so just even
Yeah.
though you're all
That's a
seeing it.
different question. How do we know who's voting? Yeah, exactly.
Well, just honest
Our
people.
numbers, it has to add up to 13. So it's 11 right now, Chet, and you and I have not voted. Is that correct?
That should be correct.
Because I haven't touched it. All right, I will vote for myself.
And what's the,
All right.
do you need my vote? I'll vote for you.
I don't know.
Hold on.
I'm a little bit concerned that I'm actually a little bit concerned because right now it says 7-5, which I don't know how it can say that because that's 12. And
Yeah,
So
somebody
then
voted who shouldn't have
Franz, you
voted.
had something to say?
I would suggest that Bruce, as a secretary, ask each of the board members how
Yeah.
they want to vote.
We're gonna have to, sorry, because now we have an unclear answer here, folks. So I'm gonna
Especially-
end this poll.
You see the result and you are one of the candidates,
Yeah.
that doesn't look well, so I think
I
it's better
agree.
if the person sees the
I
result.
agree.
Okay,
So
I will call the roll.
call the roll, please, Bruce. Thank you.
Starting with the carryover members. Barbara Anderson,
Kohlhauer,
Colauer Bandera,
I'll vote for Kohlhauer.
Bruce Parker votes for Colauer. John Kuntz,
Suzanne.
John Zolkowski,
Kohlhauer, Bandera.
Kay Dixon,
or Bandera,
Chet Gardner,
Kohlhauer.
Shamira Lynette,
Kohlhauer, please.
Jim Monk,
Suzanne,
Mark Peterson,
Kohlhauer, Bandera, please.
Suzanne Schreiner,
Myself,
Sia Smith,
Dan Schreiner,
and Franz Weber.
Kohlhauer, Bandera.
I have 9 votes for, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 votes for Kohlhauer and 4 votes for Suzanne.
so be it.
Okay, there it is. Thank you very much for all your support, and we'll try as hard as we can to work together, which is what we need to be doing in the coming year. Thank you. So do we have nominations for vice president?
I'd like to nominate Suzanne Schreiner for vice president. Again, I think she's the most knowledgeable person about coffee. And she's a good leader, so Suzanne is who I nominate.
I nominate Chet Gardner to remain in as vice president.
Other nominations?
Too bad we can't be co-vice presidents.
We haven't come up with any such a thing at this point in time, but
Chet, let me say that I think you do a fabulous job all over the place. So it was nothing that you have done it wrong. You've done everything right, but I wanted
Okay, other-
Suzanne.
other nominations? Thank you, Sia. So focus on our topic for a moment. So hearing no other nominations, let's call the vote again. Given the way it went the last time, why don't we go ahead and ask for the secretary to do a roll call. So we're going to vote for Chet or Suzanne for vice president.
Barbara Anderson,
Suzanne.
Kolar Bandera,
Chet Gardner.
Bruce Corker, Chet, John Kuntz,
Suzanne. I love you, Chet. Sorry.
John Zolkowski,
Chet Gardner,
Kay Dixon,
Chet Gardner,
Shamira Lynette,
Chet Gardner.
Jim Monk,
Van,
Mark Peterson,
Chet Gardner, please.
What did he say?
Suzanne Schreiner,
Suzanne Schreiner.
Sia Smith,
Dan Schreiner.
and Franz Weber.
Suzanne.
What is that one?
John Zolkowski, is that yours? Oh, you're muted. Okay.
Is this frozen or are we still live?
No, Bruce is counting.
Oh, thanks, Cole Howard.
Yep.
Bruce might have missed me.
Ah,
I don't remember
there
that.
it is. Okay, Chet,
And you,
I did miss you.
you forced me to vote for myself, and I was hoping not to have to do that.
Okay, well, I was struggling. It was 6-6 with Chet's vote. It is 7 for Chet and 6 for Suzanne.
Okay. Welcome, Chet. So we should elect a secretary. Do we have nominations for secretary? We asked him if he would serve as secretary for this meeting. We did not vote to accept him as secretary as a board.
Nominate Bruce.
Pardon me?
You've been nominated as secretary, Bruce. Do you accept
Okay.
that nomination? Any other nominations for secretary? Apparently you have to speak up because I can't hear anything. Okay. I'm not sure that we need to vote for that nomination if there's no other nominees. Because you're gonna just be secretary, I think, Bruce.
Okay,
Okay, meeting over.
No,
Aye.
treasurer. We need to elect a treasurer. We do not have,
Oh.
we do not have a treasurer for the coming year. Do we have nominations for treasurer?
I nominate Jim Monk for our friendly treasurer. He's absolutely perfect.
Is that what you were saying as well, Chet? Because I couldn't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. We have a nomination. Do we have any additional nominations for for treasurer, excuse me? Correct that record, please.
Let me step in for a moment. Jim and I have discussed this. The bylaws provide that an officer can serve only 4 years and then is term limited unless the board votes otherwise. So we've got a double vote with regard to Jim.
So Jim, that said, you only accepted, I don't know if you accepted a nomination as secretary, as treasurer, but you only accept it contingent on being approved to serve an additional term. Is that correct?
Well, I have been voted in as a board member, but I have now served 4 years as treasurer, and the board needs to approve that I continue in that position, which is something that is allowed within the bylaws.
Could I have some wine?
I think I'll.
Yep. So we can have a motion on that topic separately from the nomination. We can interrupt the nomination process.
Yes.
Chet?
We should probably do it first, I suspect. So I will move that we waive the requirement in Jim Monk's case and allow him to serve another year.
So there's a motion on the table. Do I have a second?
Second it.
I don't know who the first person that seconded it was. Sorry.
I second it.
We had Franz, Kay, and Cecilia all said or waved their hands.
Who made the motion, please?
I did.
Yeah,
Chet made the motion.
Got it.
I heard Kay. I saw Franz at about the same time, so I don't know what to tell you in the record the second was from.
Okay,
Matter.
Kay, second.
Kay
okay.
seconded it. Very good. We have a motion on the table to allow Jim to serve as a secretary, treasurer. I've said that now 4 times. I'm getting tired. As a treasurer for a 5th year, an additional year. So unless there's discussion, is there any discussion?
No, he's perfect.
All in favor, please raise their hand or say aye.
Aye.
I have a majority. I won't count the numbers unless someone needs us to call the list. So Bruce, that has passed. That said, I believe you were already nominated to be treasurer, Jim, and you've now accepted that nomination. Did we? And I don't think we had any additional nominees for treasurer. Therefore, you are our treasurer for the coming year. Thank you very much. We do have one additional item, Sia, I apologize to deal with, and I wish we didn't, but we do, and it should be quick, which is that among the group of us at this point in time, we need to determine, to follow the bylaws, who is going to serve for a 1-year term. And that is not.
I didn't hear
because-
this. Can you repeat that?
Yes, the question at hand is how we're going to decide who will serve a 1-year term rather than a 2-year term, because the election to the board of directors is for 2 years. However, the bylaws state that you can't do it unless it's only 1 year. Because of the number of people,
One
because of the
person,
number of,
one
so
person
one
in order to
person
get the
needs
stagger.
to, yeah, in order to have that
That
stagger.
offered. Our
I'm
vice
sorry?
president offered.
Okay.
As did Franz, I think.
Franz, were you offering as well?
yeah, doesn't matter. Either way is fine, yeah.
Okay. I don't have strong feelings. We should just wrap it up with a decision. Unless, do we need a board approval of the decision, or at least in the minutes, it needs to be reflected that will happen. So who it is up to the 2 of you right now.
Flip a coin.
Doesn't matter to me. Either way is fine.
Chad, do you want to just go with it since you said so the other day when you guys were talking about it as a committee?
Yes, please. Just,
All right, Chet is going to be the 1-year board member. So if he wants to run again, if he's eligible, he'll do that next year. So he does not have a 2-year service, and that will be in the minutes and reflected. And so thank you all for your time and attention, and we'll carry forth as a board. I believe our meeting, I'm not going to get this right without looking at a calendar, but I think since
I'm
we've been
opening my
meeting the
calendar.
third Mondays of the month at
February
2:30.
15th.
February 15th.
2:30 in the afternoon should be February. I was going to say February 15th. That's what I remembered. Thank you. At 2:30 in the afternoon, we have been meeting virtually, and I think honestly, we will continue meeting virtually based on the fact that, in my opinion, it's not safe to be meeting in person. And like I commented earlier, following CDC guidelines and the Hawaii state, we do not need to be gathering as a group larger than 10 anyway. So we will be having virtual meetings, and that will be the first one. So you all will be communicated with by my efforts the week before in terms of an agenda and the login code information. So hopefully that was good. And that said, I hereby adjourn this meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you all.
Good meeting. Goodbye.
Woo.